I'm not sure what this video is about, but I don't have to. I also don't have to follow the algorithm or worry about having a great introduction in a way. What I'm going to be doing is checking a bunch of things, a bunch of tabs that I have open, and maybe I'll have commentary, and maybe it's going to develop into something. It's all random. Sonic can go now. I don't think... Well, she can go from here. But Lindsay will be reviewed. Or dated, rather. I'm actually pretty excited. It's kind of like Sanity Dump video, but the main idea that I wanted to start with is I don't necessarily need views or comments in comparison to what other people get. You know, there's rich and there's poor. Even in YouTube space, there's that difference that people don't actually respect, which reflects into the real world. You must understand, all that shit reflects into the real world. There's no minimum wage. There's no a thing that where you upload a video and you get a minimum amount of views. There's no such thing, guys. Alright? Obviously, your video has to pass some kind of requirement to get that. But, like, who gets it? What are those requirements? I couldn't pass that requirement for a very long time until I jumped into Sniper Wolf drama. A thing that people are so focused upon and salivating on destroying Sniper Wolf. You know, like, oh, that one was very important. And I probably, you know, jinxed a lot of people with that video with 2,000 views, but nobody really watched it, it doesn't seem. And even if you break through into one of those 1,000 view things, there's so many people who are just entitled to watch free videos, right? When it comes to credit, you know, when it comes to really crediting creators, what Jaxfilms doesn't understand is that we watch videos for free and we don't give a fuck ourselves. It's the audience that is at fault. It's not the creators that are at fault. You know, we just get things for free, guys, and we would have to rather pay for a lot of good stuff. Sanity content can be free, but like real content, I don't think it's supposed to be free. You're supposed to put effort as well to be able to enjoy it. You won't enjoy it as much if you don't put effort yourself and don't understand what effort even is when it comes to being creative and artistic. If you don't know those things, if you don't even know how to hold a conversation, you won't understand what a content creator is, unfortunately. This is why I enjoy just making content for my own sake, just because I know someone in the future might find this useful. I might find this useful in the future. I don't know. All right. But right now I can just dump my sanity, encapsulate it, and have it useful somewhere, somehow. And imagine that it is useful. At least fake it so I can, you know, express my feelings. I can't express my feelings to a bunch of plushies, or just walking around aimlessly, or going out into the streets. This is the best way to do it. I can't even write a book because I hate books. But, you know, that was back in the day. Kind of. Because usually, if you want to write a book, you can't just write a sanity book to express yourself. You still have to put it in an artistic way. But that's how, like, songs are made as well. Like, you have to force the artistic version of a song. You can't put too much sanity into it. You have to find the most valuable things to share. And maybe someone is going to watch behind the scenes footage. Right? So, for me, this is the flag. This is what I'm gonna fucking rise in fame for, because I will always look for sanity. Alright? In other people's content, because that's the thing that's missing. That's the thing that's supposed to be free, and everything else is supposed to be quite, you know, engaging, let's put it that way. quite not ad-free. The stuff that your ad blocker will not be able to block, unfortunately. Because you have to prime yourself for the experience. You have to appreciate the amount of work that has been put into it. I have explained it already, but it's just that important. I'm not a content creator. It's just painful for me to do any sort of work seriously where I have to become a robot, because I have a leadership personality. I can't be a robot. I can't just do what other people tell me to do, what everyone else wants me to do. And it's apparently like really valuable. No, it's not valuable. I just want to survive. I have my own wants and dreams, and they're kind of fucking super simple. And being disrespected very, very often just paints that there's a big problem. There's a big problem to solve. And that's it. That's all I have to say. We don't have to dive too deep, because we're gonna relax. I don't know what it is, but you know, my body just kind of went through some kind of fever-ish thing, probably because I drank watermelon juice. And if you know, watermelons go bad really quickly. And I drank that. And it was disgusting. And it made me sick for a few days. And now I'm just tired and exhausted of being sick, but no longer sick. It's just, you know, a phase from getting sick into getting tired. Anyways, let's begin the journey of these stabs. What are we having? What are we eating today? Because I'm not gonna make a real video, unfortunately. But we could try and like spot sanity or some bullshit like that. We can have some kind of theme for the video, absolutely. Worst scam, I actually forgot, but it's about different sizes of clothing. Okay, yeah, I mean, clearly it's in the thumbnail, but it's so weird. Also, purple, really? The ripoff world. I'm not interested in this too much, but you know, I have to finish. Moon has 2 videos actually, so this is just a, you know, a disguise. You think I watched half of it? No, I didn't. There's another video, and maybe there's another video on top of that now. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared. Moon is acting up right now. You gotta stop, man. Literally, there is another video. So, congratulations to me. I am very busy today. Refused to sell his soul. I actually argued with people about Keanu. And, you know, people light up and explode very quickly. What is your problem? In a way, like, people are allowing me not to be reasonable, and they're just gonna move on anyways. Even if I'm unreasonable, they're not gonna be fucking invasive. So I probably can just, you know, allow myself to relax in terms of YouTube comments, because I couldn't find reason there. So, you know, at some point you have to give up. But normally when I'm talking to a person, I'm trying to be as reasonable as possible, and asking what is your problem is the most fucking disturbing thing you can do, bro. It's like, you just ignored everything I said and then asked a very rude question. Congratulations, bro. We'll never figure out what's my problem. We'll never figure out, because you created a problem. A new problem. You know? We're not gonna investigate my problem anymore. And this is how the world fucking degenerated into. Again, people gotten so comfortable with this way of life that is, you know, is settled, but it's rotting, and it's rotting really fast, unfortunately, if we just stay comfortable like this. Because there's a lot of people who are not comfortable to be sat on, to be discriminated, or, you know, pushed around. And I'm not talking about goddamn minorities, bro. I am not talking about that, bro. Usually when time stops when people just want to settle down. There's a lot of people who just don't feel comfortable in their positions, you know, increasingly not. So you can wrap a ring around this and create an ecosystem around this one number, but some people will be left behind. Obviously, they have to like fall down or whatever. And there's a lot to investigate on this one. So let me find a kicker comment that I could make about this issue. Because again, I know that people are just viciously unreasonable, and they potentially have no awareness of where they are in life, what they can achieve, what I'm allowing them to achieve. You know, now just people just blindfolded that world works a certain way and not any other way at all. Like, if we run out of options, we have to force choices anyways. Like, if someone only gives you two choices, two options, I'm never satisfied. I want more options. I want to explore more of what is available for me, especially if those options are going to define a portion of my life, right? If there's always a chance to like get a girlfriend, that's a pretty important option. I want the best one. All right, so I will continue exploring. I will not give up on exploring my options. But when world settles down, they try to take options away from you because it's very invasive if people start exploring, if people think that there's an alternative point of view in the first place. It's ridiculous, bro. And, you know, the Sniper Wolf drama that's going on has leveled up. All right? It has leveled up +4 dislikes. All right? Everyone is being unreasonable in that sense. They think they figured it out because Jack's films told them. But that's not how life works. You don't figure out things when someone else tells you. That's not how it works. Just because you have activated some facts in your brain doesn't mean you have all of them. All right, just because you have a Pokemon doesn't mean I can't crush it with a fucking rock. All right? Maybe I don't even need a Pokemon to defeat you, bro. It's ridiculous, bro. People have so much self-esteem to just be popped, to be destroyed. They're just creating that invasive self-esteem, which has to be challenged at this point. They feel like, oh my god, now I have to be challenged because the world has to change, right? They're just forcing the change, and they're so happy with where they are. And I'm like, I'm confused, right? Because like the world is slowly diving into a crisis, one crisis after the other, and there's no real winners in that situation. All right? But popping someone's ego feels like a winning move every time. All right? Not having a big ego, but getting your ego popped. Making you realize that you have nothing, bro. Whatever you have accumulated in terms of power, you got nothing. And you cannot do it violently, most importantly. You cannot do it violently because you go to jail, all right? That's not a social thing you can do. Then you gather your powers in jail, all right? It's going to be 10 times more difficult to do that. But in general sense, like, you just have to simply understand people, communicate, figure out how to vibe in different ways. But, you know, if people run away from me, I mean, it's like, oh, I get extra time each time someone fucking runs away or becomes unreasonable. I get extra time on my clock. All right? I don't have to waste my time anymore because I've done my job of, you know, pushing someone away because they didn't want their egos potentially popped. They didn't want to be challenged, you know, because they clearly have a lot to lose if they talk to me. So that's the idea. It's a deep, deep topic of the apocalypse. of when the fuck my time is gonna come. I can't wait, because every single time I think something is about to happen, it gets delayed. All right, so now I'm just like happy. I'm just happy that's the case. Another thing that's a very important dynamic is dynamic of power. When people become power hungry and not actually willing to force, you have to force win-win situations. You can't just fucking find a way to scam people. You have to force that. It gets difficult, and if less and less people participate, it still has to be forced. There's no difference. It doesn't matter how the world works or what the fuck is going on in the world. All right? There's one thing is certain. You have to fucking win in general. All right? Everything you do. Like what fucking Andrew Tate is saying is that you have to eat plants even to survive. You have to eat plants. Well, fucking plants are gonna eat me. All right? Eventually. I'm gonna fucking decompose and plants are gonna eat me. And they're kind of eating. Or just we live in an ecosystem. We don't have to fucking talk about eating things in the first place, which is kind of disgusting. But you know, you like something, you consume it if it's consumable. I consume videos. And it takes a lot of people's will to, you know, let the video go and just disappear in time, basically. Most of the videos are gonna sink like Titanic, unfortunately. But some are timeless, and it's based on like how notorious the channel is. What kind of reputation you built on the channel. Power does not define what is good or bad. Power defines a quantity of good or bad. All right? But if you're in the middle, like, it's the easiest thing to fucking describe for you. All right? If you know how vectors work, it's the easiest thing. But so you're doing kind of work, right? Like humanity's going a certain way. It's doing that work. But if you go upwards, you're doing nothing, bro. You're doing zero input. This is what good or bad is. This is bad and this is good. You just move in an opposite direction. You don't appreciate the human life. You don't appreciate life in general. You don't understand what ecosystem is and how it works. And that, you know, sometimes if you really want something, the world is gonna fucking change for your thing to be accommodated. Most of the time, all right? And there's not gonna be a fucking issue. You like fossil fuels? I don't care, bro. You like plastic straws? I don't care. You like being straight and not gay, and you hate gays in general, and you don't think it's prideful, that's fine. That's fine with me. Hopefully you're not in the minority anymore, you know, with your opinions. But it is what it is. Like, obviously you don't... Right now, people are taking space, and power means, like, I will take as much empty space as I want to. But they're missing the point, and the point is this point. That their egos can be popped and destroyed, and everything you have can be fucking disowned and given to another person. All that empty space that you feel so powerful of grabbing and taking care of, first of all. Everything you grab, you will have to take care of. With great fucking bubble comes great responsibilities. And most of these things I wouldn't fucking take. You only have to take things you need. Then the world is gonna revolve around it because you will solidify your bubble. And you can continue growing is just one layer, right? You can make another layer. You know, and every single year, potentially you have to do that. A whole process of layering yourself and creating a really impenetrable and indestructible thing about yourself. All right, that's real power. Real power is ability to protect yourself from dangers, from, you know, all these predatory powers that, you know, in order to grow, it is indeed realistic to expect for people to be knocked out, for them to shrink, even slowly. This is why you always need win-win situations. You cannot sacrifice yourself. You always have to grow. And these people have to sacrifice their space and interconnect instead. All right? So, even by talking about bubbles, we can get the actual form of reality nailed down. All right? And if you know how Seed of Life looks like, it's a very, very neatly interconnected, center to center, basically, interconnected system. I can't really recreate it, but because it's goddamn awfully complicated structure. But that's the idea. It's the most packed thing, which is actually fascinating that you can get Seed of Life by just stacking 4 balls together. It's in a 3-dimensional space. You literally get this. And these are just 4 blocks stacked on for blobs. I don't know. Yeah, the power dynamic, bro. People are just gonna have to wake up a little bit. The more they want, they have to compare themselves to the smaller dude. You know, maybe I want something too. I just haven't really asked the universe in the most outrageous ways that the universe tells me to do that. Because the moment universe tells me to ask for things, this will gonna happen. And I'm gonna fucking bounce around and I will still not take anything. I'll just piss people off. I'll just pop them up. And the only thing I will ask that someone else is gonna come in and take all the fucking glory from them. Or someone else is gonna do it. Someone else is gonna grow for me. And then I will make friends with them and then see if I like something that they have done. That's the strategy, boys. And these spikes will fucking hurt every single person who gets fucking bumped into me, or I bump into them. There's no way out. I don't think I've lost a single argument yet. But it's easy when people are, unreasonable and they are in new space. So I have to invade different spaces and find ways to just pop people's bubbles. Fascinating, right? If I'm an earth person, the best thing is stainless steel. Just stabbing you with stainless steel, and then you bleed. And then we watch you bleed. Because it's about fucking time that you do that. And when I say bleed, spiritually bleed. Yeah, it's way worse than you would have ever thought. You will hurt yourself anyways, if you want to. We allow you to do that. You know, perhaps government was so nice they didn't even allow you to hurt yourself with drugs. Oh my god, we have to legalize drugs again, please. You have to get hurt. Alright? And there's plenty of people on the streets now, drug addicts, and they don't know. They don't know what to do anymore. Well, unfortunately, there's always options. You're just not creative enough. You know. When it comes to bubbles, there's a very simple analogy. We pop your tires first. Alright? That's where it all starts. And once tires are popped, then you realize how easy it is to disrupt society. This is the easiest thing. If you want chaos, if you truly want chaos, 1% of people can do it. 1,000 of people can do it. 0.1% can do it. If they just decided to do a ridiculous amount of chaos that could just disrupt society to insanity, bro, to a halt. And if you disrespect them, you know, and their threats, it's just gonna happen. All right? The Purge is around the corner in Europe. I want to see how it looks like from, bird's eye view where I don't have to participate. All right, I don't have to get hurt about people being angry and finding solutions of how to disrupt society. But in Europe, it's gonna happen. All right, it's the best place for idiots to, compile their ideas. Because I have mine. Mine is very simple. You just threaten to pop every tire and you show how it looks like. All right, obviously don't attack policemen. Let them run around. Let them figure things out, Let them investigate what's going on. Wow. Waste their time. I don't respect nobody, bro. Because I don't feel respected. I don't know where respect comes from. I stare at the stars and that's it, bro. I stare at celebrities. And I survive off of YouTube. That's what gives me sanity. So when I'm doing a sanity dump, it can evolve into this. You never know. It just evolves into that. Sometimes you just feel like you have to do something, and it happens. All right? So you have to be honest with yourself. It's the most powerful thing you can do. You have to truly identify what it is, but once you find it out, find your weapon of choice, you'll master it, and you'll be very dangerous. You'll actually have power. Because what you need is like very, very simple things. You don't need expensive cars. You don't need none of that. You don't even need children or a complicated relationship with someone. You just need you to survive, have a shelter, and have something to do. Once those things are met, now you can grow. You cannot grow your needs, but you can grow your experience. And every time you drink, smoke, do drugs, your experience goes away. You just force that experience out of yourself. You cannot compile nice things for people anymore because you just vomited your experience. That's how it works. When you abuse substance and you abuse your body, the experience just fades away. You can no longer remember it. Like people ran away from, my classmates ran away because I am a really intense person. All right? I'm a really intense person, and I have proven to them that I remember things better, and I cared about the classmates a lot more than they did. Collectively. Fucking collectively, bro. Again, I have no idea what explosive power level I actually have. What happens if I get into drama? Because as long as the drama circle goes around me, I just open my mouth. Everyone just enters me and never leaves. Drama is just gonna feed me over and over again. People trying to laugh at me and mock me, it's not gonna work if I just have impenetrable defenses and traps set up to just obliterate anyone who cares. Obviously, if I scare too many people, I will not get drama, but that's not what I care about anyways. I told you, I don't really desire views and all that attention. I can give it to other people to try it out. Maybe they're bored or something. I'm not bored. If I'm not bored, I can do whatever I want. I'm so not bored that every single angle of me is just a weapon. I am entertained by seeing other people suffer. And not because I'm evil, is because they're evil most of the time. At some point, some layer of you is evil and has to be popped to a certain degree. And I'm like very gentle about it. All right? So, and if you're not being honest, you will not get the power. You're just never going to get the power. You will feel like you have discovered some obstructive way to operate in the world, but only honesty can actually generate things ridiculously fast. All right, and it's still very difficult for me to like encourage myself and find a sweet way to deliver my message, a sweeter way. It's very difficult. All right. I turn a lot of people off, but you know, the idea is out there that I have to improve constantly, and I can't stop at any point. If there's a chance to improve, I can't stop. Gotta keep the conversation going, you know. So sending my, you know, the ghost mates, because they're no longer classmates. I'm the only one talking to myself with the ghosts. It's relevant to me. It's an energy that I have to talk to. Call me crazy, baby. Because you're way crazier than that. You know, you're not talking to anyone. You're not telling me where your friends are, how cool they are to talk to. Like, you can mock me as much as you want, but mockery does not work if there's no alternative presented. It just doesn't work. All right? With Sniper Wolf's drama, it's a little bit more complicated because mockery is about, like, oh, there's an empty space in Sniper Wolf's world. She doesn't want to credit creators for some reason. But you don't know what it's all about, right? What the twisty twist is in there, because it feels like it's intentional. There's a problem. There's a gaping hole that people can fill in, you know. But if you're not careful enough, they might just fucking rip your head off because you just put a head in there, and the hole shut down very quickly. Sniper Wolf can just start crediting creators. What's gonna happen? Peekaboo, bro. I see you. Trashing me. Well, I twisted the world back into place. You know. What Sniper Wolf cannot do, however, is give good commentary. And she's being mocked for that. Right? It was like, oh, her commentary is so boring, it's so repetitive and, you know, predictable. But it's good to be predictable as long as your content is not boring. You know, it's another gaping hole, basically. The idea that Sniper Wolf is somehow supposed to deliver all the entertainment, and even more entertainment than the TikTok itself, which it makes things very, very complicated. All of this becomes very complicated because you're dealing with very deep systems of, like, do people deserve credit? Does she need to exhaust everything just to be entertaining, to be fake? Whatever she feels like doing, I'm okay with that. I'm just completely okay. And people forcing some kind of type of behavior is now predatory. At this point, they're just being predators. They're leeching off, they're at least salivating, looking at potential drama, potential fall of the biggest woman on this platform. I don't understand this sort of mentality anymore. I've tried to defend Onision and all that jazz, like Gabby Hanna, but this is like next level. This is like, I have successfully defended these people, but they still had to leave the platform. All right, because, you know, people would never stop harassing them. But with Sniper Wolf, it's a whole nother level. Her personality, again, matches mine. We can deal with drama. We can deal with harassment. We invite that anytime. And they just picked the wrong target at this point. So you can expect me to grow just to all the way to Sniper Wolf's level. Maybe we're going to share subscribers. I don't know, bro. I'm not saying I want to entangle myself. I want to protect and get, you know, 1% off. Well, what's that? 300,000 subscribers? Sounds good to me. Good start. And then I can just operate on my own. Even just 1%, if I, you know, successfully defend Sniper Wolf and embrace her personality. If I can do that and I get 1% of saving her channel and her reputation, that's fine with me. Obviously, she gets to choose. I'm not saying she cannot do bad things, all right, and violent things. I'm just saying I would trust women more right now, especially minority across YouTube, especially when I don't like Mr. Beast that much, when he's surrounded by fire right now and is being mocked a lot more hardly. Then, see, what people are actually doing is very funny business, right? They're mocking Mr. Beast in every single wrong way. They're mocking Mr. Beast for doing good things. It's a very twisted way of, like, how did society figure out how to twist Mr. Beast and give him good image regardless? So now no one can mock Mr. Beast anymore. No one can actually attack his image, because it's like, oh, you're just one of those people who attack him for doing good things. That's not what I'm doing. I'm a person who wants to be entertained, and Mr. Beast is actually quite fucking boring, unfortunately, in most cases. And there's a quick fix. You have infinite money. You can quickly fix that problem. All right? Otherwise, your reputation is gonna sink. People gonna take advantage of you. And goodbye, Mr. Beast. All right? I won't be able to hold you up there in high self-esteem, unfortunately. And that's a pretty big loss. Because I keep track of everything. And now I have evolved already. Like, if you just have to look back into my past, and we have evolved very, very quickly. This button game is no joke. Ability to memorize things, ability to summon things, there's no joke about it. And people were not able to whisper anything to me of, like, what they like. No one said anything about this button game. I am freaking out right now. The level of ignorance that people possess is beyond my understanding, because everything is being taken for granted. Everything is like what you want, right? For me, again, and that's just another power dynamic of, like, where's my space? I want to be a fat person and occupy maximum amount of space in the world. I want to, I want to be a disabled person, and I want to be a blind person, and I want support for that. No. All you have to do is take revenge until you die. If you're a blind person, if you're disabled and somehow, maybe just now you should be hostile towards the world and not allow world to just, manifest you niceness and cool things. Because you will never have that. And you know that. And you cannot be, like, positive. Technically, Mr. Beast could have been mocked for that thing, that he gives hope to people who seemingly are hopeless. But we don't talk about the other side of, like, where's the fucking nearest volcano where we can sacrifice people who are clearly disabled. Clearly. And if you sacrifice a wrong person and call that person disabled, obviously now you're mentally ill. Doesn't mean you have to be sacrificed. It's just you'll hurt yourself, very likely. So we have to observe you and put pressure on you and see what kind of disability you want, and then be sacrificed to the volcano. When there's too much pressure, bro. There's too much pressure on the blind guy. The only way to cure blindness is to put pressure, to force a person to be productive. And we'll see where they land. Because you still can land somewhere. And you can be with high self-esteem where you land somewhere. I'm not saying you have to be Olympic fucking swimmer or whatever. Because that's the image in my head that I carry. But the idea is a blind person can still be productive. It can still do something. Can still earn money somehow. All right? And now with improvement of technology, unfortunately, we'll have to summon a volcano where we throw people in who don't want to live anymore. An actually reasonable suicide. You jump into something and you will die. And nothing else will. You will never recover your body. Nothing will happen. But you're just gone. Who knows what that means? All right. But I believe in spiritual, existence. So your soul just kind of leaves and you get to do whatever you want until maybe you convince some human being that you are also a good human spirit, even though you were disabled and you didn't like your disability and nobody else liked your disability. You can convince, I don't know how spiritual life works. For now, it's scary. Sometimes, you ask for certain things and like knowledge, and it comes to you, and you're just like, what? Did I ask for that much? Yeah. Sometimes you just get what you asked for, and you realize, holy shit, that is overwhelming. And most people don't really care of the things they ask for in life. They get the good things, and then they start asking for bad things. And then they get depressed and sad, and they don't know what to ask for anymore. Because they got the good things, the best things, and the worst things. So now they're just confused. And they forget to ask for more knowledge and experience and, to settle down and be happy with life. Your wishes come true, unfortunately. Some faster than others. But usually if there's empty space, you can fill it up and then ask for improvements every single day. Every single day you can improve your space. And that's what you should ask for. You should not ask for expanding your space, for new expansions, but to improve your already existing experience. All right, this is why Hearthstone is not exactly the coolest game on the block. All right, when you compare it to Elder Scrolls Legends, I would ask Elder Scrolls Legends to, twist a few things here and there, or some influencer to figure out how can I improve my experience of playing the game. I don't know. Maybe there's a way. But it doesn't have to be updated. It just has to work. And people in Blizzard just... people just basically have to be manipulative in order to prove of work. Prove with that. Quote unquote is a weird one. Quote unquote, I don't want to say that. Also, it's like really hard to say quote unquote. Quotefully. Quack proof, man. Quacky. I like quack because duck is also a very weird word. So they're trying to... The Blizzard is just simply trying to prove that they care about Hearthstone. When the actuality, no, they don't. They do not care enough at all. And they're just trying to venture into these weird things that don't actually work and making the game overly complicated, seemingly. And but the reality is, every single expansion is an insult to all the things that came before it. Discover Effect became a staple, but a lot of things have been lost in time and never ever been explored fully. So we just, if you can improve something, congratulations, Blizzard. You can pitch in. But we don't want just an experience that we can build upon ourselves. Because an experience that just goes out of control and we cannot establish expectations is pointless. And this is very much likely why Ben Bro just left the company. Left the fucking development. Alright, I think he more than anyone else understands that even changing cards is a big deal. Alright? But you need balance, so he doesn't understand that part. That balance is ridiculously relevant. So you have to find balance first, desperately, and then you can start settling down and introducing cards slower and slower and slower. where every single new card has to be like ridiculously impressive and interesting. But if you find a new concept in a card game, like that's a high priority to introduce it to the game. But the highest priority in games in general is to, twist the experience. Hearthstone has introduced twist and it flopped. So they literally still don't know what the fuck they're doing. Twist the experience over and over and over again until you find the right thing, which was Tavern Brawl. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to review Tavern Brawl and see which one actually works and doesn't. But that doesn't mean that Blizzard is going to pay attention. So I have to focus on targeting a different audience. Targeting an audience of just regular card game players, just to show you guys, just to explain the experience to them. All right. Yeah, it's a whole sanity dump, unfortunately. I literally have to just wrap it up. I couldn't even watch a single video. I just died inside, bro. Do we extend it to 2 hours? I cannot give up. All right. A lot of people secretly rely on me to not give up, and they just want to act as evil little fucking imps and be a little bit of a distraction because, that's the Titan way. If you see someone like ridiculously OP that you cannot possibly challenge in any way, you can only distract them. Well, that's the thing. You just feel like being evil is the most entertaining thing you will ever fucking experience. Just be somewhat evil. But I always challenge that if I see it in my fucking vicinity. I have to challenge that. Now, there's a way bigger picture. There's a whole world out there, guys. The whole world of operating different things. But if we don't fucking nail morality, everything falls apart. I told you, it doesn't matter how big your fucking things are, how fast your car is. If you're going the wrong way, your car is not very helpful, is it? You're just going the wrong way. So how the fuck do you figure out which the right way is? I'm just asking simple questions, and people don't want to answer any of this stuff. So everyone is going the wrong way. Every single person is going the wrong way, and some people are obsessed about it. Some people are happy with that. Some people just, oh, I love being evil. And the first thing that evil is going to do is make you a miserable person that will try and pull, people in up front who you realize, oh, they actually have been going the right direction. So a lot of people who are actually entangled with me, they will feel like, oh, I have to pull this guy into my problems. He's going to solve my problems now. Fuck you, bro. At some point, my system is gonna mock you back. All right? It's gonna collect mockery and gonna mock you back. At some point, my system is gonna be so complex and so advanced. Or technically, I'll just feed ChatGPT, some AI bot to consume your stuff. We're gonna train him a little bit, and then he's gonna talk to you instead. I'm not gonna talk to you virtually. You're gonna talk to my assistant, who wants pain and destruction to your life, because I don't really like you. All right, I do care about you to get hurt and destroyed. I don't really like you. You have to find a different phone number to call. It's one of those talk to my friends to talk to me moments. All right, and why? Well, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Taylor Swift and YouTube Rewind 2012? That's a cool moment. Wait, could it? Yeah, it has to be 2012. So it's a weird one because it's very difficult to make a YouTube Rewind and capture the things that happened that year when the year is not even finished. Cool things happen in December, but it is what it is. It's kind of finished. It's kind of finished. I can do that. I can do that job. So, YouTube Rewind is the right way. And most people move forward, and I just want to move backwards because a lot of things have been, created already on this platform. You just sometimes have to look back and not forward to understand the story behind things, to understand the things we have lost and the impact that they truly have by applying a perspective above a perspective and combining those things together. I've learned to do that by accident. I guess I'm lucky. But I'm lucky because I was cornered by a lot of pressures of the world. I was stuck in a fucking corner trying to figure out what is the most entertaining thing I can pick up and play with. And it happened to be one of these things. All right. Becoming YouTube CEO sounds like a fucking, a blast. And then I picked up a bunch of women energies of like, I'll just gonna act like a baby. No one's gonna hurt me. No one can possibly hurt me if I just act like a fucking baby. All right? Because the moment you try to hurt me, I ain't no baby, bro. I have plenty of energy. I've drank some milk. I have drank milkies, bro. And I'm a unleash the furious, judgment. Just because, like, why the fuck you would attack a baby in the first place, all right? So I have my little corner. I enjoy my little things. I would appreciate a little bit more effort from everyone else to, at least be more aware. You can mock me harder if you want, but I wish I received 10 comments under every single video I make. This is the first goal we're gonna break. Not a subscriber count, but a fucking comment count of how many people want to fucking express themselves in my comments. That's the goal I'm trying to fucking reach. Not to mention that we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? We don't know if YouTube is blacklisting me in some kind of way, and if you don't honestly deliver the notifications of what problems I have with my channel, I'm not gonna fucking solve these problems. So, and it's the greatest criticism that you can throw on YouTube is that we just don't know. We don't know how to improve our behavior because YouTube doesn't tell us what is considered a flaw, a terrible flaw. Yes, a strike is pretty bad. Your channel, a strike is says a lot about nothing. A strike is just, again, YouTube's way to assert dominance. But in order to actually dominate the platform for YouTube authorities, they have to talk to us. They have to send some notification, some information of if we're being problematic or not, of how they feel generally. Not on fucking Twitter, bro. That is pretty triggering. I can see the Jack's side of being triggered because the whole discussion is happening on Twitter and not on YouTube. It's still there, basically. The lingering shadow of Susan Wojcicki, who also operated mostly on Twitter, the lingering shadow of her is still there. All right? But, hey, maybe if Elon Musk changes Twitter into X, we can X out Susan Wojcicki properly, and not talk to her anymore. And maybe that was Elon Musk's plan this whole time, is just to X the platform and promise a lot of cool things, but he never delivers anything. If you know how Elon Musk operates, he can promise things, but will never, ever deliver anything of value. All right? The only valuable thing that he's doing is promising. That's what he learned to do in the first place. That's what you can expect from this guy. And those people who still feel like they can side with Elon Musk, they're idiots. All right? In a way, like, it's the best thing for a billionaire to do is just to burn their money as quickly as possible. To become broke, potentially even, in the most legal fashion. Like, maybe Elon Musk is a genius because the greatest trick of all time is that billionaires don't actually want to be that fucking rich. They realize that at some point is just too big of a burden. So if you want to find a troll, I don't think there's anything bigger than that. All right. I don't think you'll find a bigger person than this. Just trolled the universe successfully. I don't know. Maybe Elon Musk requires a little bit of a bump of respect now. A little bit of a heal. Going from minus to a plus is a big deal on my system now. Until I become ridiculously hostile and ridiculously powerful in combat. In combat. When I just focus on combat, I apologize. But a lot of people will get hurt just by looking at me. Funny, right? Mr. Beast versus Ring of Fire, finally. Picking up speed, technically. But not picking up interest. It's very interesting. Impression click-through rates, 1%, 1%, 2%. I get a very, very good click-through rate. 1% is fucking legendary, bro. So I don't understand YouTube. What's the problem here? Unless I would get like 0.5%. But the problem is, you know, the winners win more. It's just the most basic thing. If you cannot monetize your videos, you're technically not active on the platform. The active people have to get the most real estate until people get tired of people being fucking active. Sometimes something can go viral, but YouTube is probably like very, very careful with that. Ridiculously careful when it comes to like small channels. I'm not sure, man. There's a lot of complicated parts that they have to have thought about that still, you know, pushes me around and prevents me from doing cool things. Still, this thing is still alive, the content evaluation. Again, I didn't pick a side necessarily, so it was encouraging people to watch more. I want to see what the people's evaluation overall is. Now I have 5 dislikes. So that's fascinating, as always. Let me just check the main deal. So this is where it all started. And this is it. 2 likes, 11 dislikes. This doesn't stack, but holy shit. Do the last 3 videos about this drama stack like hell. So we're basically in a position where it's 1 in 500 million chance that people are being reasonable and they're trying to, you know, fully understand the drama. No. What's going on is people are being lustful and hoping that Sniper Wolf is gonna, you know, lose her crown for some stupid reason. All right? That's what they're hoping for. However, it's increasingly more difficult to just hope for something like that. And a lot of drama channels are much more likely to just disappear off the platform for encouraging harassment. Just strictly encouraging harassment. Think about it. I mean, YouTube authorities have embraced Sniper Wolf. They have technically sided with her indirectly. So now you're just going at it. You're just going at it, and you don't know what YouTube authorities are willing to do to protect her, the creator that they have. You know, because you can't convince the entire fucking population, the entire 34 million of people who watch Sniper Wolf, just for the sake of it, to just change their minds, unfortunately. People don't change their minds. In the comment section, you might feel like a fucking big boss, sucking each other's dicks. But in reality, it's not gonna do shit to this creator. It's just not gonna work in any way. But hey, lovely, lovely, boys. There's another spike. I hate when these happen. Like, I don't know what the fuck. What the fuck is that? I just need a notification just for that alone. Especially when it's not really my most recent video that gets spiked. It's just YouTube somehow randomly deciding that it's about time to spike your content. That also kind of is weird when dealing with this. But again, I get no comments. Alright, held for review, it's all clear. And a decent YouTuber would not be able to clear his comments. Would not be able to just review every single comment. It's impossible. So they just leave it open. And it's a little bit disrespectful because there's a lot of that you can do by interacting with your fans in the most direct way, in the most straightforward way imaginable. A lot of people like the coolest person who needs attention, we have decided, and you just harvest those comments. And you don't need to meet your fans in real life. You don't need to do none of that stuff. Maybe someone is stuck in the other side of the world and they're really struggling to, you know, reach out to you and say something encouraging. Is the greatest thing you can do as a creator. And that's also buried alive, basically. So, YouTube kind of sucks right now. Alright, YouTube needs leadership increasingly more and more. And, you know who to vote for. You watch this whole video, you know what to vote for. I have nothing else to say. It's a video. It's an insanity dump. Whoa! It happens. The magical thing. And we're not done yet. Because we're going to keep going. There's a next video as well. We're going to keep dumping sanity for as long as it takes to clear this fucking game.